All right, all right, all right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on the location that you're joining us on this platform. I want to welcome you all to our training today, the 16th, the 16th of July, 2024. As we are crossing, yes, we are trying to get out of July. Uh, Going to August. Yes, so it is the 16th of July as we are having our training today. Yes, so allow me to welcome you all to this training this morning. And also, I want to recognize the presence of our different leaders, including our own host, which is also our coach here. I welcome you guys and thank you for joining us. So, um, we are going to continue from where we left yesterday. Yes, this is Coach Mopiiwa joining you from Johannesburg. Um, so we're gonna take it from there. Yesterday we were looking at the candlestick anatomy. We were looking at the candlestick anatomy, and we will proceed from there. Actually, we're gonna wrap it up. Then after that, we are going to proceed from there. Yes, we are going to proceed from there. If you can hear me, please give me a one in the chat. Is my voice audible? Is my voice audible? If my voice is audible, kindly give me one in the chat. Kindly give me one in the chat. If my voice is audible, if my voice is okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are going to continue from where we left yesterday. Yesterday we looked at the candlestick anatomy where we were looking at parts of a candlestick, all right, or components of a candlestick. Yes, if you remember very well, what did we say the candlestick parts are? Yes, can you give me three parts of a candlestick? Can you give me three parts of a candlestick? Can you give me three parts of a candlestick? I just want to, yes, I just want to check your memory if it can be able to remember. Yes, what are the three parts of a candlestick that you know? What are the three parts of a candlestick that you know? What are the three parts? I'm saying three parts. I didn't say one. I said three. If you are to give me an answer, give me three of them. Yes. If you are to give me an answer, give me three of them. What are the three parts of a candlestick that you know? What are the three parts of a candlestick that you know? What are the three parts of a candlestick that you know? What are the three parts of a candlestick that you know? I want to see who was there with me yesterday and their memory is still able to remember. And their memory is still able to remember. Yes, those who wrote down, I'm sure they are able to refer to the notes. Yes, 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 yes. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right. Okay. Okay. That's amazing. That's amazing. I can see the body, the close, the open. The body, the close, the opening. Okay. The opening price, the closing price, the upper shadow, the lower shadow. Okay. All right. That's cool. Body close and open. Okay. Body lower wick, high wick. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So thank you for the answers. Thank you for the answers that you have given in the chat. Yes. Then I also said that when we are trading, we normally trade volume, and the volume is brought by two powers. Yes. Yes. Two powers or two forces. Then we discover that those two forces, they are the bears and the bulls. We discover that those two forces in the market, they are the bears and the bulls. Now, do you mind telling me, can you tell me, where does the bulls open their market? Where does the bulls open their market? Where does the bulls open their price? Yes. Where do they open? Where do the bulls open their market? Where does 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 the bulls open their market? Where? Yes, yes. I need a specific wage. A specific wage. Yeah. Where do the bulls open their market? Thank you so much. They open it from the bottom. They open it from the bottom. They close it on top. They open it from the bottom. They close it on top. Okay. Now, let me wrap up for the lesson of yesterday so that we go to something else today. All right. Let me wrap up. I want to share my screen. Let me wrap up for the lesson of yesterday so that today we can go to something else. Yes. So that today we can go to something else. Let me wrap up. All right. Is my screen visible on your side? Is my screen visible on your side? If it is visible, give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat if my screen is visible. So we looked at the candlestick anatomy, and we find out the following: that the body, it is the distance. The body, the real body, it is the distance between the close and the open. Okay. Yes, the body is the distance between the close and the open. That's what we find out yesterday. We said that the filled part of the candlestick, it is called the real body. Yes, the thin lines that are poking above or below the body, they are called shadows. Yes, the thin lines that pokes above the body or below the body, they are called shadows. When the shadow is above the body of the candle, it is called an upper shadow. Okay, when the shadow is above, all right, above the body of the candle, it is called an upper shadow. When it is below, it is called a lower shadow, right? Then we discovered that the end of the shadow, for example, we are looking at the upper shadow here. Okay, yes, the top of the upper shadow, it is called the high, while the lower of the upper shadow, it is called the low. Okay, yes, the top of the upper shadow is the high, while the bottom of the lower shadow, it is called the low. Now, in this case, if the close, we looked at the opening. Okay, we looked at the opening, we looked at the close of the candle on both sides for buyers and sellers. Now, I want you to pick something that I'm concluding with on this candlestick anatomy. If the close, okay, if the close, in this case, let us look at this close here. All right. Yes, there is this close and this close. So I want to make this statement and say, if the close, okay, if the close is found, okay, if the close is found above the open, if the close is found above the open, okay, if the close is found above the open, here is the open, here is the close, right? So if the close is found above, can you see this close is above the open? The open is below, the close is on top. So I'm making a statement and say, if the close of a candle is found above the open of the candle, that is going to tell you in your mind, you should already know that that candle, it should be a bullish candle. Yes. If the close, I'm saying if the close is found below the open, I mean it's above the open. Can you see the opening is below and the close is on top? So the moment you see that the close of the market is found above the opening of the market, that tells you that candle belongs to buyers, because buyers, they open from below, they close it on top. So if the closing is on top and the open is below, that tells you that candle is a bullish candlestick representing buyers. I'm trying to make a summary now so that you can remember very well, where does the open of buyers and where does the close of buyers found. So I'm simply saying, if you see that the closing of the candle is found above the opening of a candle, that candle, obviously, it is a bullish candle. All right. So the opposite of this, it is this. The close. Now, here, if you see the close, okay, the close is below the open. When you see in a candlestick, you have found out that the close of the candle is below the opening of the candle. That should tell you that particular candlestick is a bearish candlestick, meaning to say it is for sellers. Yes. If the close of the candle is found below the opening of the candle, that candlestick is a bearish candlestick. Yes. Why? Because the sellers or bears, they open on top, they close at the bottom. So if the closing is below the open, can you see the open is on top, the closing is at the bottom. So this signifies bearish market. It is a candle for sellers. I just wanted you to have those things in mind, that how do you come to a conclusion and say this candle is a bullish candlestick, this candle is a bearish candlestick. Look at the open and the close. Okay, the open and the close, the open and the close. All right. So that's what I wanted to conclude with when it comes to this side of parts of a candlestick. Are you tracking? If you are following, give me a one in the chat, because now I want us to go where we are supposed to start today. I was just wrapping it up for yesterday. If you are okay, if we are together, give me a one in the chat. Kindly give me a one in the chat. Give me a one in the chat. If you are just joining us today, probably you are trying to find yourself. Where am I? Am I at the right place? Am I at the right place? Yes, we started already the lessons. So if you are only joining us today, you need to find out yourself. You need to find out yourself. Yes, you need to find out yourself, because it's a continuation. All right. Now, someone was asking me yesterday. Yes, there was a question in the chat yesterday. I did not answer it, but someone was saying, does the body of the candlestick, the body size of the candlestick matters? Okay. Does the body size of the candlestick matters? Yes, it matters. That's where we are going to start from today. The body of the candlestick, does it matter? Yes. So I wanted to say, just like us human beings, we do have different body sizes. We do have different body sizes as human beings. All right. So candles also, they do have different body sizes. Remember, when I was introducing the lesson, I said that when we are trading, we trade volume. Yes, we trade volume. If there is no volume in the market, then it's gonna be difficult for us to trade, right? So we trade volume. So the size of the body of the candlestick matters when it comes to trading. We are trying here, ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to analyze the emotional trading temperature. Yes, the emotional trading temperature. How do buyers and sellers behave in the market? That's what we are trying to track here. If you are having a problem with emotional trading, you need to come to this class. We are going to help you how you can measure your emotional trading temperature. We've got tools here that will help you to measure your emotional trading temperature, whether it is high, whether it is low. We do have the tools here, right? Yes. So once we find out your emotional body temperature, then we are going also to make sure, yes, to make sure that we are going to prescribe. Yes, we're going to prescribe a drug for you here. How do we deal with our emotions in trading? All right. How do we deal with our emotions in trading? So we are dealing with how do we measure our emotional trading temperature. So we are saying the body of the size of the candlestick matters. As you are able to see in my slide here, you can see that this candle is having a big body and this one is having a small body. The same applies to this one. It's having a big body and this one is having a small body. Does it matter? Yes, it matters. All right. So long bodies, okay, long bodies signifies or refers to strong pressure. Okay. When you see a candle with a long body, you should understand that the pressure in that candle or in that market, remember every candlestick represents a market, whether it is a 1 hour market, a 2 hours market, a 4 hours market, but one candle represents a market. All right. Yes, a trading session. All right. So when you see a candlestick with a long body, you should understand that there was strong pressure in that market. It can be either, the pressure can be either for buyers or it can be for sellers. But the bottom line is that long bodies refers to strong pressure. Strong pressure. It can be pressure for sellers, it can be pressure for buyers. But long bodies, I'm repeating, long bodies refers to strong pressure. Okay, that is the first thing. Now, the same applies to small bodies. The same applies to small bodies, right? The same applies to small bodies. So I'm saying small bodies, if long bodies represents strong pressure, it means small bodies or short bodies represents low pressure. Okay? Yes. So the size of the body of the candlestick matters. We are talking about long versus short. Long versus short. Long represents strong, while short represents low. Are you tracking? Are you tracking? If you are tracking, give me a yes in the chat. 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 If you are able to track on the long versus short, long versus short. If you are tracking, give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat. If you are tracking, give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the chat before we go to something else. Before we go to something else. before we go to something else. We are trying to analyze candles so that we know what buyers and sellers are doing in the market. Okay, let's come here. Let's come here and deal with shadows. Let's come here and deal with shadows now. We are done with the candlestick anatomy. We are done with the long and short candles. So let's come here and pick something else here. Where are my slides? I save here. I save here. Do I have all my slides here? Okay, I was looking for this. All right, so let's shift to shadows. Let's come to shadows. Do shadows have any relevant information when it comes to trading? Remember, what we are looking at, these are parts of a candlestick as well. We were talking about the shadows, that a shadow is part of a candlestick. Some of the shadows, they are on top. Some of the shadows, they are below or the bottom of the body of the candlestick, right? So do these shadows signify anything to you as a trader? When you see a candle that is having shadows, do those shadows signify anything, right? So let's come here now and talk about shadows. So the upper shadows and the lower shadows, they always give us very important information about a trading session. This is the upper shadow and this is the lower shadow. So we are saying the upper shadow and the lower shadow, they always give us very important information about a particular trading session. I said that every candlestick that you will be analyzing, it represents a trading session. It's either you are analyzing in 1 hour, you are analyzing in 2 hours, in 4 hours, in 1 day, all right? It doesn't matter, but what I want to say to you is every candle that you will be analyzing, it represents a particular trade session. Now, I'm saying when you see candles that are having long upper shadows, okay, let's just focus first on shadows. What do they signify? So we are saying upper shadows and lower shadows, they signify very important information about that particular trade session. Let us look at the upper shadow first. When we look at the upper shadow first, we need to understand that the upper shadow signifies that the session was high or the session went high. What do I mean the session went high? If you are to look at this candle, okay, if you are to look at this candle and you look at this candle, you are going to find out that at this level here, okay, for the upper shadow, this level here signifies that when the price opened, wherever it opened, okay, when the price opened, wherever it opened, this is how high the market went, okay? We are looking at the upper shadow. This is how high the market went. So this is the high of the market. Like I was saying, when we were analyzing a candlestick, we found out that a candlestick does have the high of the market, right? So I'm saying the upper shadow signifies that the market session was high, while the lower shadow signifies the trading session went low, the low of the session. That's what we are looking at. I don't know if I have started to make sense. I'm saying upper shadows signifies the session was high. Upper shadows signifies high session, okay? While lower shadows signify the session was low. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit deeper now. I want you to understand, how does these shadows come into picture? How do they develop? How do they develop? Okay, yes, how do they develop? So you are going to find out that if a candlestick is having a long upper shadow like this one, can you see? This one is having a long upper shadow. So when you see that a candle is having a long upper shadow and a short lower shadow, this means that the buyers flexed their muscle and they tried to bid the price high. Come on. Can I open my trading view a bit? Someone needed to see what I'm talking about. Let us look at these candles in our trading view. Let us look at the shadows. When I say when a candle is having a longer upper shadow and is having a shorty lower shadow, what does it mean when I say buyers, they flexed their muscle and then they bid the price high? What does that mean? Okay, so I want to open a candlestick here. I want to open a candlestick here so that we look at that. Let me just pick, should I pick Bitcoin? Let me pick Bitcoin here. All right, probably we are going to find one candle that is having longer upper shadow and shorty lower shadow. Okay. Which one should I pick? Which one should I pick? So we are looking at a candle with a longer upper shadow. Longer upper shadow. Let me change the time frame. Let me come to 1 hour time frame. Okay, let me use this one. Let me come here. I want to use this candle, which is having a long upper shadow and a short lower shadow. All right. Now, the market opened here. This is the opening of the market. The market opened right below the body of the candle. Yes, the body is small, right? This candle is having a small body, right? Just below the body, that's where the price opened. That's where the price opened. When the price opened here, okay? When the price opened here, the first activity that took place, listen to me. When the price opened here, the first activity that took place was a selling activity. Sellers sold up to this level where the low of the market is. Okay? Where the small shadow is ending. So when the market opened here, there was a selling activity that took place first. After sellers, they sold. The buyers, they saw it as an opportunity because buyers, they always want to buy low. So when the market went to this lower level, buyers, they came in, they started pushing the price to the top, actually to the opening where it opened. They pushed it back. All right. When they pushed it back, they did not leave it there. They decided to go further the opening price. They went on top of the opening price. Okay. Not only did they go on top of the opening price, they went up to this level. Can you see where this candle is ending? They went up to this level. Okay. They went up to this level, creating the high of the market. As you can see here, it's indicating high. So this is the high of the market. Now, When the price went to this level, high up there, then some buyers, they saw that they have reached their take profit. Me and you, we are included here. We have reached our 3% take profit in a signal. What is going to happen? We're going to start selling because we have reached our take profit 3%. So when the session went high, when buyers, they flexed their muscle. When I say, when you see a candle that is having a longer upper shadow and a short lower shadow, it simply means buyers, they flexed their muscle to the top. They flexed their muscle. They pushed the market to the top. Okay? But for one reason or another, sellers, they came in, they started selling. They started selling. They started selling until to this level, close almost to where the price was open. As you can see that it is almost to where the price was open. If it could pass the opening price here, if this is selling activity could pass the opening price here, this candle could change the color from green to red. But it is still displaying green because the sellers or the selling activity did not pass the opening price. That's why the candle is still showing green. So what I'm simply saying is, when the market opened here, there was a selling activity went down. When it went down, buyers, they came in, they started buying, they started buying, they started buying until they created the high of that level of the market. But the market did not close here on top. No. Sellers, they came in, they started selling, they started selling. So I'm saying the first activity that made this price to go to the top, listen to me, the activity that made this candle to go high to this level, it is a buying activity. Okay, it is a buying activity. So long upper shadows, they are created by buyers. That's the point I want to paint now. If you did not hear anything, I want you to get this. Long upper shadows, they are created by buyers because buyers, they are the ones that pushes the price to the top. So when you see a candle with a long upper shadow, you should know that it was the activity of buyers because they are the ones that push the price to the top. Okay? Yes. So when sellers came in to start selling, first it was buyers who flexed their muscle to the top. Then sellers, they came in, they pushed the price down. So I'm saying candles with long upper shadows and short lower shadows, okay? You should understand that it is buyers who flexed their muscle to the top. They flexed their muscle to the top. That's what I was trying to explain. What do I mean flexing their muscle to the top? These are buyers. So they push the price to the top. Unfortunately, one reason or another, sellers, they came in, they started selling. As a result, you are able to see the presence of a longer upper shadow. Longer upper shadow. So longer upper shadow already signifies that this is selling pressure. Longer upper shadow signifies there is what? There is selling pressure. Yes. So that is about the longer upper shadow. Are you tracking? Are you tracking? If you are tracking, give me a 3 in the chat. If you are tracking, give me a 3 in the chat. If you are tracking, give me a 3 in the chat. Give me a 3 in the chat if you are tracking about the longer upper shadow before I take you to the longer lower shadow. Yes, before we go to the longer lower shadow, I want you to understand who creates I mean, who creates shadows? All right, who creates shadows? The upper shadow, the lower shadow. Who is responsible? So when you see a candle having a longer upper shadow, what does that tell you as a trader? I'm saying it is selling pressure. Yes. So you can see that the presence of sellers is more than the presence of buyers. So what is going to happen when you see the creation of a longer lower shadow? So these are not just decorations, okay? These are not just decorations, okay? These are not just decorations. Can you see what happened here? Can you see this longer shadow afterwards? What happened? What happened? If you are able to see what I'm talking about, if you are able to understand that this is selling pressure here. After this session, what happened? Give me an answer in the chat. What happened? What do you see? What do you see after this session? After this session, what happened? Tell me. Give me an answer in the chat. What happened? What happened? What happened after that long upper shadow? Tell me. I want an answer in the chat to show that you are following. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? You're gonna fall in love with trading. If you understand the language of the market, believe you me, you are going to fall in love with trading. You are not going to complain about floating loss. You're not gonna complain about floating loss because you're gonna know what happened for you to get into floating loss. Yes. So I told you that once you understand this training, once you understand these lessons, you will be trading behind the big boys. When the big boys are making their moves in the market, you are able to see what is going on. So you're going to fall in love with trading, believe you me. If you understand this training, you're going to fall in love with trading. I mean, with trading. All right. So what happened here, you can see that the market went down because this is selling pressure. Yes, the amount of buyers and the amount of sellers in this market, it means who was dominating in this session. Yes, the candle is still green, but here it shows you that this is the activity of sellers. It means there are many in the market. So you should expect the next session for these guys to dominate probably in most cases. So you can see that the market went down. Yes, the market went down. So I'm saying long upper shadows, they are created by buyers first because it is the price that went high. So who pushes the price to the top? Buyers. Okay? Yes. So I'm saying buyers flexed their muscle to the top. So when the price opened here, it came down. After that, it started to go up. It passed the opening area. Then it went high up there. When it went high up there, the price did not, I mean, the session did not close there. No. Sellers, they came in, they started selling. As a result, you have seen the creation of the long upper shadow. If this power or if this pressure, the selling pressure, did manage to pass the opening price here, you could see that this candle could change color from green to red, telling you that now the sellers, they have passed the opening price. It's just like when you are playing a game of football. Yes, when you are playing a game of football, there is a center where the ball is started. Okay, yes, some they are scoring this side, some they are scoring this side. Okay, those who are scoring this side, they are defending their goal this side. So here is the center. All right, so these ones, if they start the ball here and then they penetrate, they enter the territory of the opponent or the enemy. Okay, that's what normally happens here. These guys, they will start the ball here. The moment they cross the center where the ball is started, they have entered the territory of their enemies, right? So it happens also in trading. The sellers, when they penetrate the territory of their enemy, what does that mean? It means they have passed, they have crossed the opening price. Once they cross the opening price, then they enter the territory of the enemy. As a result, they are going to paint the color here. They are going to paint their color here. So this candle could become red if sellers, they manage to to cross the opening price. I have stayed longer there. Let me come to a longer lower shadow. Let me come to a longer lower shadow. Let me look for a longer lower shadow if I can find one. If I can find one, a longer lower shadow. If I can get one. Can I use this? Okay, I can use this, I'm sure. I can use this one. Let me use this one here. Yes, let me use this one here. Okay, let me use this candle here, over here. All right, so when it comes to a longer lower shadow, who flexed their muscle? Who flexed their muscle? You are going to find out that it is sellers who flexed their muscle. Yes, it is the sellers who flexed their muscle. Now, in this case, all right, in this case, when the price opened here, the first activity that took place, it was a buying activity. Okay, the first activity that took place in this candle, when the market opened, it was a buying activity. So the buyers, they bought a little bit up to this level. Then after that, selling continued. Okay, selling continued. When selling continued, okay, when selling continued, it passed the opening. It passed the opening. When it passed the opening, the candle changed the color to red, as you can see. Now, sellers, they continued the activity of selling up to this level where it is showing the low of the market. When the market reached to this bottom, buyers, they came. I'm saying, who pushed the price to this lower level first? It is the sellers. It is the sellers who stretched their muscle to the bottom. Now, when the price hit bottom, buyers found it as an opportunity. They started buying. Pushing the price back to the opening. Unfortunately, I'm using the word unfortunately, buyers did not manage to cross the opening price. Yes, they tried to push the price back to the opening, but they did not manage to cross the opening price. That's why the candle, it is still showing red, because buyers, they failed to cross the opening price. So first, it is the sellers who created this low. Price went to this level. Then afterwards, buyers, they came in, they pushed the market back. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, after this pressure here, can you see after this pressure here, the buyers, they came into this trading session. Can you see how prices went high up to this level? Okay, after this happened, this is a buying pressure, right? This signifies buying pressure. So when this session was ending, the pressure that was dominating here is the one that took over here. That's why you see here, the price went here up, but unfortunately, buyers could not contain it. They lost control. Sellers, they sold up to this level where they managed to even pass the opening. They went up to this level down here. When they went up to this level down here, then there was a small buying activity. Can you see the shadow down there? Can you see the shadow down there? That signifies a buying activity, but it was small. So when the session was ending here, who was in control? It was sellers. Sellers were in control. Then you see that here, the direction of the market changed because of what happened here. This pressure here showed up here again. As you can see, that buyers now, they managed to push this price up to this level. Am I making sense about long lower shadows and long upper shadows? What do they signify to you as a trader? When you see these shadows coming up often, what does that tell you as a trader? Should you enter the market if you want to become a buyer, or should you exit the market if you want to become a seller? Am I making sense to someone? Am I making sense to someone? Give me a 4 if I'm making sense. Give me a 4 if I'm making sense. Give me a 4 if I am making sense. You are learning how to become a professional trader. You want to trade behind the big boys. You want to trade behind the big boys. So you need to take caution when big boys are making moves in the market. So for you to know those moves, you look at how candles are being formed so that you find yourself a position of entry. If you were in the market, you find yourself a position of exit. That's where now we are trying to take you to. When we were talking about the candlestick anatomy, we were trying to lay a foundation so that we can pick you, taking you henceforth. Yes. So when you understand how candles are created, then you can understand different types of candles, because we are going to get there now. Yes, probably from tomorrow. We're going to start going to different types of candles. When you see these candles, some that are having big bodies, some that are having small bodies, do they have names? Do they have names? Yes, they do have names. That's where we will be going to. So I think I have answered a question about do shadows signify anything? Yes. Do long bodies and short bodies signify anything? Yes. I think I have answered those questions. So I was looking at shadows. I was looking at shadows, right? I was looking at shadows. I was looking at shadows. That's where I want us to end for today. I don't want to press more. I don't want to put more. Yes. Tomorrow, I want us to look at candlestick chart patterns. After understanding a full candle, how does it develop? How does it end? Okay. Yes. Now, I want us to start looking at one candle and find out what is the name of this candle. Yes. What is the name of this candle? So we're going to start looking from there tomorrow, which is called candlestick chart patterns. We'll be looking at different types of candles and what do they signify in the market. I said that a long body signifies strong pressure. A long body signifies strong pressure. It can be a selling pressure, it can be a buying pressure. But as long as the body is long, it signifies strong pressure, while the short is the opposite of the long. Yes, a short body signifies low pressure. It can be for buyers, it can be for sellers, the pressure. Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question? I want us to move step by step. I don't want to bombard you with a lot of information. If you can grasp the idea of shadows, if you can grasp the idea of long bodies and short bodies for today, I think it's fine. It's fine. Yes. Then tomorrow I'm going to add something to that. So you're gonna pick slowly, slowly until you understand how your, yes, I'm calling it your emotional trading temperature. Yes, we are trying to measure the emotional trading temperature of buyers and sellers. What about the green short candles? What about the green short candles? The color green, it represents buyers. Okay? The color green, we have just chosen the color. You can change the appearance of your candles. Okay? But in here, let me just share the screen, because maybe some they are getting confused. I'm using different slides, and then when you go to a trading view, you see green and red. Okay. If you were here yesterday, I was saying that there are two forces in the market: this force and this force, this pressure and this pressure. So we decided to give different colors to represent the two forces or the two pressures. So we give green to the buyers and we give red to the sellers. The guys who are bringing red, blood, this is blood. Okay. So we decided to give this color to the sellers and we decided to give this color to the buyers. So when you see a green candle, whether it is small or big, it tells you that those are buyers. When you see a red candle, whether it is short, whether it is long, but it is red in color, that is the symbol of sellers. That's what we are trying to say. So in my slide, I'm using white and black. In my slides, I'm using white and black. White represents buyers. Black represents sellers. Are you tracking? So these colors, you just choose. When you are setting your candles, when you come to your candlestick setting, you can choose which color should be for sellers, which color should be for buyers. Okay? There is no significance when it comes to the colors. No, it's a matter of choice. So don't get confused by the colors of the candle. No, you choose from the beginning when you are setting your trading view. Yes, you can change these colors to be white and black. You can come to candle setting and then change this. Okay? You can come to candle setting and change this. Then you put it to your color. Can you see what I have tapped there? Can you see what I have tapped? If I change here, let me show you so that you are able to see what I'm talking about. All right. If I change here, I put white. I put white here. Then I change the red and I put black. I put black. I just want you to see, because someone is thinking that all right. So can you see? Can you see now? My candles have changed. Where you see where you see the gap here, where you see this gap, it is my white candle. Let me change the white. Let me change the white so that you are able to see. Let me put this color. Let me put this color here. Let me put this color. Okay. Can you see? So it is just a matter of choice of color. Okay. It is just a matter of choice of color. All right. So that's all about. You can change these candles to any color that you want. But what matters is, do you get the meaning? Do you get the meaning? Okay. So I'm bringing back my green. I'm bringing back my green here. I'm bringing back my green there. I'm bringing back my green here because that's the one that I have chosen. Let me bring my red here. I bring my red there. I also bring my red here. So it's sorted. I'm back. Can you see? So it's a matter of what color do you want to use. Okay. That's why I'm saying the color doesn't have any significance. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear? Anyone with a question? I'm ending. We are closing the session now. Tomorrow we are going to begin from where we have left today, going forward. Going forward. If you joined while I was winding up, that's not my problem. Please go and watch a recording. Go to YouTube and watch a recording. Yes. Go to YouTube and watch the recording. Even the lesson for yesterday, if you were not in this class yesterday, go to YouTube. There is a recording there. Then you can watch. Okay? You can watch. If you come here late, that shouldn't be my problem. Yes. You need to come here. Actually, you need to arrive here before me and wait for the teacher to enter the class. Yes. You need to be in a classroom. When the teacher comes, they should find you in a classroom. So you want to come after the teacher, then it becomes a problem. Sometimes they will even give you a punishment. They will tell you must go and dig a root of a tree if you come late to school, if you come late into the class. Yes, go to YouTube, Crypto Ambassadors YouTube channel. Crypto Ambassadors YouTube channel. That's our YouTube for Crypto Ambassadors. So you're going to find all these recordings there. Then you can watch at your own time. Then you will catch up with us. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Let's call it a day. I mean, a morning for today's lesson. We are going to proceed from here tomorrow. Yes, from here tomorrow. Someone is asking the significance of weeks. I was just explaining. They signifies pressure. The significance of weeks, which are shadows, they signify pressure. So I was telling you, when a shadow is on top, a long shadow is on top, a long shadow is on the bottom of the body. What does that mean? I just did that. Please go and watch again. I just did that. Probably you came late. Probably you came late. I dwelt much on that one. Okay, so allow me to end the class here. I'm not sure if my coach, my host, is having anything to communicate to the community. Yes, I don't just end the Zoom. Yes, probably with Coach Julius. Anything that you want to communicate to the community this morning, please. Can you have the pleasure to do so? Let me make you co-host in case there is something to communicate. Yes, sir. If you are still here and there is a message, please have the pleasure to take the platform. Search for crypto ambassadors. Search for crypto ambassadors. When you go to YouTube channel, search for crypto ambassadors. Yes, you are going to find us there. All right. So guys, let's call it a day. Let's call it a morning. Let's meet again tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for joining. We love you so much. Take care and be safe. Bye-bye.